All right, good evening, YouTube out there. This is JS Miner 87 coming at you on the DFS Quarry channel. We're going to dive into tomorrow's main slate breakdown here on March 19th. As always, guys, remember to like, subscribe to the channel here. Just a quick breakdown here. We try to do as many shows as we can. I guess we'll call it at that. Joe and I have been busy. But you know, I'm going to try to commit to 3-4 shows this week. Certainly Monday, Wednesday, Thursday look to be pretty clear for me. Tomorrow, up in the air. I got a hockey game myself, adult league hockey, at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So not sure if I'm going to get that slate breakdown in tomorrow night, but maybe Joe can step up and get in there depending how his kitchen remodel's going. But yeah, as always, we've been doing the screen share. Seems to be working pretty nice. But we got a, looks like, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 games on the slate tomorrow. 10 games. It's a pretty big one. Like I said, we're gonna examine the picks, examine the games, give you a little bit of stats from both sides here. You know, a little bit of stats, but not make you get lost in the stats. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the screen share and let's get started, shall we? All right, here. Let me make sure we're all squared away on the old channel here. And it looks like we're live here. All right, guys. First game up on the slate, we got Pittsburgh traveling down to Carolina to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina 139, home favorite with an over-under of 6 in this game. That's the opening lines, guys. So let's take a look here. And I've sorted some of this. This is all stats, meaning combined, penalty kill, power play, even strength, everything. So total of all the past 10 games. So let's take a look here. Find Carolina here. Where are we at here? Carolina, guys, 7-2-1 in their past 10. Pittsburgh 6-2-2 here. So, you know, kind of even as playoff implications here, you can see shots for 321 here for Carolina. Pittsburgh a little bit more on the shots column, 344 shots. 331 shots given up to Carolina's 300. Goals for, this is what I have it sorted by, with Carolina getting 34 goals in the past 10 games while Pittsburgh getting 31. 26 goals against for Carolina, 23 for the Penguins here. So certainly I got this highlighted. You know, you look for the greens, the reds. Green is a good stat. Red is a stat to be concerned about and maybe target, is the way I look at this sheet. So, you know, you can see here fairly, you know, Carolina is a little bit better half of the league when you look at the shots against and the goals for, while Pittsburgh there is a little bit hovering about midway in shots against here. Going across here, penalty kill, I got this sorted by goals against. So how many goals have they given up on the penalty kill? And going down here, we see Pittsburgh has given up 5 power play goals in the past 10 games, while Carolina has only given up 1 power play goal in the past 10 games. So you got a very strong Carolina penalty kill going up against Pittsburgh here with 11 goals for on the power play, I believe here. So this, like I said, it's past 10. Certainly getting a lot of time on attack. So it is going to be a little bit of that, you know, can Carolina stifle the Penguins' power play, or vice versa? The power play does nothing here. So looking at the power play for Carolina here, 4 goals for on 35 shots. So not a lot of action there. But let's go on here. Look at some of the lineups and such here. When I look at this, I still may have interest in the Pittsburgh power play, just because of how good they've been the last 10 games, excuse me. And Carolina, obviously it's the penalty kill for the Carolina Penguins. I have no, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to look at Carolina's power play. Power play for the Penguins probably might be your best bet here. Certainly, Welcome back. Hey, Cole, thanks for joining in, buddy. Crosby and Gensel seem to be, where you're going to target Kessel as well on that second line. As you know, recent stats, Mulligan is week to week, so we won't see him. Bluger got a goal. I don't know why his goal isn't on there. I thought he had a goal the other night, last night, so I don't know why they haven't updated that. But certainly the second line is going to see an impact without Malkin there. So maybe you want to even dive down to the third line here. Nick Bjugstad getting 23 shots with Hornquist. Decent third price. It would give you an option here for the second pairing, or a secondary stack, we'll call it. Going here defensively, as I said, I don't really like any defense here for Pittsburgh. Going down here, though, like I said, this first power play, has been good. Crosby there. Even if you wanted to one-off Crosby and leave everyone else, it could be a viable play. I played Crosby last game. He done nothing for me. On a 10-game slate in a game that is very close, I don't know. I don't see much exposure for me in this game personally. Maybe one guy, maybe two guys. But for me, I think I'm looking like I said, Hornquist here getting that power play time on the first line. That's a nice play. Bjugstad, second power play line with a lot of shots lately at 4,400. I wouldn't mind. You get a couple exposures at both ends of the power play. But I'm not sure you need to go there. Matt Murray, Murray's in play for me. Had a good game the other night. Left a late one in, but I think you can go back to Murray. Flip the script here. Carolina, certainly this first line, Niederreiter still playing pretty well with Aho and Williams. Williams, I know, has had success against the Penguins along with Svechnikov here. So you see here, I said that I wasn't very well interested in the power play. They have had, a couple points there. I'm going to look for the power play correlation, but really, if you look at line one, these line ones are all on that top power play unit with Niederreiter, Aho, and Williams. If you go down according to Daily Faceoff here, Niederreiter, Aho, and Williams here. Justin Falk on that first power play unit, I like that. I wish they'd go back to Dougie Hamilton here, but I'm okay playing Justin Falk as a defensive option. But really, like I said, secondary stack pricing here. If you wanted to go Niederreiter and Williams here, leave out Aho. But Aho could be in play as well. I look for this game to go down to the wire, a 3-2 win for one team or another. I don't know which way it's going to go, to be honest here. I'm leaning towards Carolina getting the win, but it's certainly going to be a game decided in the third period. Looking here, another goalie. I'm interested. I'm interested in whatever goalie is going to be. I mean, you looked at Carter Hart the other night and Binnington. The past two games, Penguins have put on about 40 shots. So let's take a look here if we can, just to take a look at starting goalies for tomorrow. See if we got any confirmations. Let's see here where we at. All right. Yeah, Murray is projected against McElhaney. It's 3 months ago. So I'm not sure. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's go into the next game, guys, and we're going to pick up the speed a little bit here. Boston going over to take on the New York Islanders. Boston's a 108 road favorite, over and under a 5.5 here. So let's take a look here. Team totals we'll see. Boston here, 344 shots for, 263 shots against. So good columns here for Boston. You go down here, let's find where the Islanders are. The Islanders here, not taking as many shots. That's about an average of 30 shots, giving up 300 shots here. Scoring chances, the Islanders certainly given a lot of scoring chances, even a lot of high danger chances, and a lot of high danger goals against. So if Boston can exploit that, it would be nice. But, you can see here, not a lot of high danger chances for Boston. Only 105 and 16 goals here. A low scoring game. I still believe that a game with implications certainly for the Islanders here. Let's take a look and see if we can't. Boston here is 7-3 in their past 10. We got the Islanders 6-4 in their past 10. So it should be a very evenly matched game. Looking here, power play wise, certainly Boston here, 8 power play goals. Not a lot of shots for. So that's a little bit. It's a good scoring percentage for them on the power play, but I wish they would shoot a little bit more, 38 shots, and not a lot of power play time. Take that into account when you're looking at the power plays as well. 39 minutes in 10 games is not a lot of power play time. Going over to the penalty kill side of things here, you can see here the Islanders have given up 3 power play goals here and not a lot of shots. So, if Boston's going to score in the power play tomorrow, it's going to be a very quick. It's got to be that one shot, really. So let's take a look here. If you've joined in for most of the year, you know that I'm not a very big DFS player of the Islanders. They've certainly the second half of the year, I've kind of saw them teeter a little bit. And like I said, I don't want too much exposure to this. You can see here, at least if you are going to play these stacks here, you certainly got affordability, and you're going to get some minutes here. So for the Islanders, let's check their power play quick. I don't think we did. Islanders here, 1 goal. So let's not even look really. So if you want to pick, you're going to look at normal pairing here. Lee's been strong over the past 5. Barzal's starting to get better. I like that they swapped them out, Nelson away from Barzal here. And so really it's Lee and Barzal. They've meshed together well. Eberle, he could play in there. But like I said, not a lot of action here in the Boston game. And for flipping the script of Boston here, you got 2 options. You can go with this front big line here. I see that it looks like they have Pasternak back. So that'll be a nice addition here to an already deadly unit. The second line certainly has died off here, but I do believe DeBrusk and Krejci and Coyle could be in play, as well. But yeah, I'm like Cole here. I'm telling you plays that could work, but I really see this another low scoring game, probably under the 5.5. And I just don't think the shots are going to be there, guys. 2 good defensive teams here. So shots aren't going to be there, and I think let's fade the goalies. Next game up, guys, we got the Detroit Red Wings taking on the New York Rangers. New York Rangers are a 140 home favorite, over under of 5.5. And this is a game, guys, I have interest in this one. So Detroit, I believe you can add Abdelkader to their list of injuries. I don't, unless I had heard, Larkin does appear back in the lineup. But you look at the past 10, guys, and this is where you're really going to look. Goals for, we look down here, Detroit 20 goals for, Rangers only 19 goals for. But look at the amount of red in this column. Detroit's not shooting. They're giving up a ton of shots. They're giving up 38 shots. 38 shots a game here, guys. They've given up 40 goals. That's 4 goals a game over the past 10. And, they're everywhere. High danger chances are there. They're giving up across the board. And let's see, save percentage is under 90%. So, I think this is going to be goals on both ends here. If it's a 5.5, I want the over, to be honest with you, in this one. So, I can't agree more with Cole here in the chat here. It's Zibanejad, it's Kreider, and then, let's look to the power play. I want every bit of as much ice time as I can against the Detroit team that's just leaving up goals everywhere. So Kreider, Zibanejad, you're going to add a cheap Nemestikov here or Buchnevich. And certainly defensively, Anthony D'Angelo has been a very good defensive player at 4,500 or 4,400 tomorrow, 3,800 on FanDuel. This first power play unit is a way to go. They haven't produced certainly a lot in general. the Rangers haven't produced a lot, but I think you can take advantage of looking at that power play, looking at this top line. You wish Strome was on that first power play unit. It looks like he's on that second one. Strome, I am a maybe, guys. If he's the only one that can fit into your lineup at 3,300, I don't think he's going to be a bad option to pair in with these guys, or even a one-off at 3,300. I do see Strome in this first line taking advantage of Detroit. Detroit side, guys, Larkin here is back. Perhaps he could be a play here, but I might fade this line, fade Detroit completely. I know I had Vanek the other night with an assist. Vanek's played really well here and gets first power play time. So I do think Vanek is a one-off, another good viable option. Even Nicholas Kronwall here on that 2,800 defenseman. Write him down, guys. I think he would be a defenseman at 2,800 that could get you that apple that makes it worthwhile. But yeah, this is it for me. No goalie action in this game, and we can move right along. But keep an eye on this game, guys. I really think it's going to be a good DFS option where you can get exposure while people not watching this game and not seeing the stats aren't aware of what it is. Next game up, guys, we got Montreal Canadiens heading over to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 116 home favorite, over under of 6. And don't shoot the messenger, guys. Some of these odds I'm even questioning, but these are opening. I don't even know if you can – it's an app that we use just to get the opening lines and kind of give you what they have here. But Flyers playing well, certainly coming off of that 2-1 overtime win over the Penguins. What's the takeaways from the Islanders, really? 6-3-1 in the past 10. Go to Montreal, where they at here. They're 4-6 over the past 10. Really in need of a win here. Montreal, 360 shots for, 270 shots against. Flyers, 308 shots for, 348 shots against, and 39 goals for. So averaging about 3.9 goals, but giving up 3.2 goals here. You keep going here. They're capitalizing on their scoring chances for Philly. They are scoring in high danger areas, but they are giving up a lot of scoring chances here. So let's go over to Montreal here. Montreal, 291 scoring chance for 19 goals. So we know that Montreal needs to get some goals here. Certainly when you look at it's not much on the power play side of things for the Flyers and for the Canadiens. Penalty kill here, guys. Defensively here, I think special teams are almost going to be a moot point. Montreal only giving up 2 power play goals. Philadelphia only giving up 3. So this could be almost. I don't want to say I necessarily want to fade it, but I just don't know where these goals are going to come from. The other night it was Voracek and Couturier. If they were a little bit cheaper where we've seen them a few weeks ago, yes. Maybe JVR as a one-off, but I don't want too much exposure into this game because once again, I see it as a low-scoring game, really. Goes to spare defensively at 5,300. I think you could go that route. 1 goal, 6 assists here. 11 shots, 8 blocks, 5,300. That's good production. I think it was Radko Gudas with the goal or an assist the other night. So certainly you can look here for a defensive option as well. I think if I'm looking at these two guys of Gudas and Hack, I'm probably going to go with Kronwall, who we just talked about. Carter Hart, you really just look and if you think that Montreal struggles tomorrow and your game scripting that they still can't score, I think that if they run Hart, you're still in play. Let's take a look over the past couple here before we continue. I know I've missed. So Tuukka Rask for Boston was confirmed against Lehner here. Jimmy Howard projected against Lundqvist in the last game. And now we got Montreal. It's 1 month ago. It's Carey Price. It's Carter Hart. I think it is Hart tomorrow, to be honest, after the performance against the Penguins. And I do have interest in him if at 8,100. Flipping the script to Montreal, guys. You want to like this team. You really do. But now you see here, they've got Domi down here on the third line with Shaw. They bumped up Kotkaniemi and Armia to try to really fix some things and get something around here. I'm just going off the script. I don't know how much they're going to run these lines here. It's hard. I think this game's a fade game, really, to be honest with you guys. Maybe you look for that one-off defenseman here. Maybe you give Shea Weber, who's certainly at 6,100s producing. On a big slate like this, I don't know if I'm going that route that high. I'm with you, Cole. When I look at this, I sometimes wish that they'd give Domi a chance up here where Dano is and play Gallagher, and maybe even give Drouin a little ice time up top instead of Tatar, to be honest here. But, I think everything's in play for Montreal at this point. I think they're open to try any line they want. Next game up, guys, we got the Washington Capitals traveling to New Jersey, take on those New Jersey Devils. Washington is 225 road favor with an over-under 6 here. Can we stack against these Devils here? Let's first go into the projections of so 7 hours ago, they were projecting Phoenix Copley against Corey Schneider. So let's take a look. First, we'll go to the goalie here. Let's go down and take a look. All right. Come on here. Copley 1-0, 1.0 with a .971. So his last outing was pretty good for Copley. Corey Schneider, there isn't much that we can really say about these Devils here, but I do got Snyder 6,900, 1-2, 2.68. Not a lot of GAA and save percentages there, so certainly someone that might be considerable here. I don't want to bet. All right, so let's take a look here at everything. So the Devils here not shooting the puck a lot, not even giving up a lot of shots though here. So no scoring chance for. So Copley's definitely in play here. When you look at things here, high danger chances against. They're not giving a lot of high danger chances here for the Devils. Is it another fade game? I don't think. I think you can. I think you can target Ovechkin here on your lineup. But I'll tell you what, whose name I've seen here, and it's these guys in this second line here. It's Kenny Agostino. He's been getting points. It's like every time I turn on my ESPN app, I see his name pop up, and he gets that first power play time, guys. I'm not sure. We've known on the road the Capitals to take penalties here. So Agostino, maybe even with Severson defensively, these guys are a tricky play. And and it is. We were talking about where you play, and Zajac here at 4,000. You want to pair him with Paul Mary. They are getting that first power play time. When you look here, let's check out the New Jersey Devils. 46 minutes. They do have 3 goals for and 35 shots. So their power play is not potent. You can look here at the Capitals, though, and see where they are. Capitals here giving up 4 goals against here, but you see here 56 minutes on the penalty kill. So a lot of penalty time here. Looks like it might be about 4th most in the league here over the past 10 games. But with the Capitals, a lot of things can be in play here. I don't want to go heavy here because you see some of the stats here, not giving up scoring chances for the Devils. if you want to one-off Ovechkin maybe, or do an Ovechkin Kuznetsov and leave out Wilson, might be your play here. It's a pair move. And certainly, you look at this third line here. It's Eller and Connolly playing well with Hagelin there. I keep them in play here. I take a look. Carlson, defensively here, great option as well. But you know what? I've looked, and so far out of all these games, it's the Detroit and the Rangers game that got me the most excited. Let's go to the next game, guys. We got the Edmonton Oilers traveling to St. Louis, take on the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis, a 190 home favorite with an over-under 5.5. For me, guys, it's St. Louis. I really like the St. Louis team coming off I forget their last game here. They beat, I think it was an overtime game against Buffalo last night, if I recall. Well, let's take a look. So you can see here, let's go St. Louis, 4-4-2 in their past 10. Edmonton, 6-4 in their past 10. Edmonton, close to that wild card spot. I don't know if they're going to get there. You see McDavid really carrying the load. They got Draisaitl back down to the second line with Nugent and Hopkins. For me, it's still McDavid. It's still Draisaitl pairing. I don't mind chasing here. But I think I want the power play correlation. So, if it's McDavid, it's chasing. Really look for this power play unit 1. And that's where I would target Edmonton. I don't know if I'm getting there tomorrow because, it is a very strong defensive team here. When you look at, let's see where St. Louis is, giving up 25 goals in the past 10 games, which, it's near the top of the league. You got the 15 here, the 23, the 24, and the 4. So it's the 4th fewest goals in the past 10 games. You see here, David Perron back with Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Shen. Top line hasn't produced as much. Makes you wonder where they're going to score from, guys. So Vince Dunn here defensively is a nice option. Same with Colton Parayko. Those defensive options I do like. You want to target really an Edmonton team that gives up goals. Let's take a look quick if we can see the power play. Is that where you want to go to? 8 power play goals and 44 shots. I think you do target power play units here. And both have had success. So depending which way you'd want to go, like I said, Vince Dunn here on that power play 2 at 4,100, a great play. And Jaden Schwartz, what line they got him on, that third line now. Jaden Schwartz on power play 2, not a bad play as well. I don't know if I'm getting a Pat Maroon, but really, in the grand scheme of things, Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Shen, and Perron stand a great chance to get points tomorrow. Next game up, guys. And I do have interest. I guess I'll say this. Let's take a look here, see if we can find anything good. Edmonton taking a little under 30 shots here, giving up 347. I don't think I'm getting to the goalie here. Bennington does have shutout potential if it is him. Let's take a look. It's Koskinen against Allen projected. Allen does have shutout potential here. I don't think he's going to against McDavid. Koskinen, I certainly don't want no part of. And you can see here, Koskinen with a 3.93. I do see St. Louis, guys. 4,100 for Vince Dunn might be a great bargain tomorrow for a team that should put up 4 goals. All right, guys, next game up, we got Toronto heading to Nashville, take on Nashville Predators. Nashville, 124 home favorite, another odd that I don't particularly understand. 6.5 over-under here, guys. In Toronto, we've known kind of a little bit of a last I heard they had lost a little more than necessary. They're 5-4-1 in their past 10. You go to Nashville side of things. Nashville 5-5 here. Nashville not giving up a lot of shots. Toronto taking a ton of shots and also giving up a lot. 38 goals for, 40 goals against. Nashville 23 goals for, 31 against. Really, Nashville just hasn't scored a lot, guys, and 2.3 goals against. They're not generating high danger chances really like they should be. So I really like Toronto in this one, guys. Really like Toronto to actually win. It's not the same Nashville. Certainly, the other night you had some production with Philip Forsberg and Victor Arvidsson, and I do think that line is in play with Forsberg and Arvidsson against a Toronto team that's letting up goals. But really, that's the only place I can go. Craig Smith here on the third line. I mean, if you're going third line or below, you're one-offing those guys for some monetary savings. Roman Josi putting up numbers at 6,200, and I think he's a viable play. And is it? Let's see, penalty kill here. Toronto's not giving up power play goals. Nashville, on the other hand, gave up 7. You look at, let's see if the Toronto power play gives up 8 goals. So, yeah, there's the correlation, guys. I think we want to go down here, look at the power plays where it's going. Tavares here got 2 power play points in the past 5 games at 7,300. Certainly, I wouldn't have any problem here stacking Tavares and Matthews as a pair here. Morgan Riley also play, guys. And like I said, just look at whatever way you would want this first line paired. That's where you want to go. I don't think you need to look at the second line. If I did go to the second line, I would go with a Johnson and a Jake Muzzin combo here. Jake Muzzin. Ooh. So, and no goalies here in this one, guys. No goalies for me. Next game up, guys, we got Colorado heading to Minnesota, it looks like, to take on the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota 135 home favorite over under 5.5. Looking at this, we got Varlamov projected against Dubnyk. That was 8 months ago, so we're not sure. Grubauer did play the other night, though. I told you, Cole, that it might be Besser and Pedersen because of that, no third or fourth line guy getting the goals last night. All right, guys, Minnesota here. Let's take a look. Minnesota's power play. Are we getting action? We do have 6 goals, 39 shots. Not a lot of shots, but they are garnering a lot of power play time, 55 minutes. Penalty kill side of things, Colorado giving up 5 and 48 shots. Yeah, about probably middle of the leg at 47 minutes. Colorado's power play, 6 goals on 47 shots. So, and Minnesota 4 goals on 26 shots. So, you look here, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the power play? You could probably get away with doing that. Home ice, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, to be honest with you guys. If I wanted any action here, it would probably go back to the Colorado heavy hitters. Going back to McKinnon here and Rantanen here. So I don't mind. They mix and match things up during the course of the game. So even though McKinnon might not be listed as with Rantanen, McKinnon and Rantanen are a great pair. And even adding in Barry, I think you could go that route. And I certainly have a little bit more interest in that side of things than Minnesota. I can't get on board with Minnesota, even with Varlamov at a 3.72, 0.892. Just because I don't know where the scoring comes from. I mean, Parise's had signs of life there with Stahl. But, we've also seen, Donato get some action. And it's just, I just don't care to take the risk on this Minnesota team. I don't see myself getting to Colorado, But if I did play this game, it would be that way. Next game up, guys, Florida Panthers taking on the Dallas Stars. Dallas 152 home favorite, over under 5.5. I know Dallas has been good, but boy, do I have an interest in thinking that Florida really can open it up. They don't typically, but the way this Florida's team has been, it's hard to ignore. They're putting goals on, guys, and that's the main thing. Look at this. Huberdeau, Barkov, Dadonov. Dadonov at 5,300 with 8 points in 5 games and 14 shots. These are all great plays for the price they cost. I mean, you look, Crosby's at 7,800. I think Gensel's at 6,700. These guys are cheaper yet and have more production. This is a better play even against the Dallas team that is very good defensively. But you wonder, Bishop's played well. I don't doubt that, but he did get injured the other day, which it's been Kudobin lately. So my guess is that it would be back to 8 months ago's projected Bishop. Let's check the injury report real fast that I got open here. See if we can't get any news on Ben Bishop. Lower body, he sat out the past 2 games, leaving a status for Tuesday in question. So not much news there. We'll have to tune in tomorrow to see where they are. But really, it's line 1 here, Barkov, Dadonov, Huberdeau. That's where I would go tomorrow. And it is that first power play unit as well. I probably wouldn't mind having a line with that, guys. I mean, no one's really been able to stop him. And you know what? Montembeault, I think his name is, or Montembeault. Maybe. I'm not sure the price tag tomorrow for him, but maybe. Dallas here, guys. Certainly, you got Radulov, Sagan, Rupee Hintz pairing up very well with Sagan here and Radulov. So Sagan and Hintz might be a good play here. Jamie Benn on that second line, but to me, Benn on that second line, I don't like it. I'm not taking any risk there, even at 6,000. So there's where I'm at. It's just top line, and I don't think that's a secret to anyone. There's no plays underneath that. Even any defenseman, I'm out. I don't have interest here. And you know what? Kudobin's played well. Hasn't won, but he's got an under 1.94. I don't think I'm getting to him tomorrow against the Florida team. Last game on the slate, guys, Columbus Blue Jackets heading to Calgary, taking on the Calgary Flames. Calgary, 135 home favorite, over under 6. I don't know. I see this potentially as another Columbus Blue Jackets here. It's like Columbus goes to the road, they lose. Columbus stays at home, they win lately. So for me, look at this. Panarin's down to 5,400 because he's done nothing. Atkinson, 6,800. Duchesne and Anderson and Zengel have played probably better lately, as well as being Jenner. For me, it's probably still trying to attack and take advantage of the second line here with Duchesne and Zengel, and leaving everyone else. Certainly, you go to defenseman here. No interest again defensively for me, and I'm leaving out the goalie here. Calgary side of things, being at home ice here, I think you can look at Lindholm. I think was on the injury report if I recall correctly. No, Monahan. Monahan's missed the past game with an illness, but with an illness, I would think that he's going to come back. Let's see, and that would slide him in where Derek Ryan is. So Monahan back with Gaudreau and Lindholm, another good play. I'm probably going to try to take line 2 here with Backlund and Kachuk tomorrow, along with Frolik. This second line, I'm going to try to hammer that one home. Giordano in play at 6,300. Why not? I think he is a good play. Hamonic as well. And I don't know. I don't think I want any part of the goalies here on either end. it's Bobrovsky and Rittich projected, but that was a month ago. So that's the slate, guys. A lot of interesting things here. Just to go over the last game that we talked about here. Calgary 334, not giving up a lot of shots. You go to the Columbus side of things. Columbus not even hitting 300 shots and giving up a 301, but not many goals here for Columbus. So that's where we're at here. Let me see where we're at on time. 40 minutes and 9 games here. Let's see if we can do a quick lineup build. Oh, man. All right. I guess I need to log back in here. We'll go to lineups. Yeah, I got a lot of minutes left here, guys. Game got me a 2.5 with Ekman Larson getting me a half a point. And 4 points by Taves. So this is where I'm at tonight. 7 points, not winning anything, but a lot of time left. Let's create a lineup. We want to go NHL Classic. Tomorrow's lineup, 10 gamer. Let's do it. And like I said there, Cole, I think he's still watching. We're going right away. No doubt in my mind. Let's do our favorite stack, which is Zibanejad there with Kreider. First pairing there. Oh. I think even Zibanejad at 6,400 might be too cheap not to play, right? I mean, for a first line center at 6,400, you don't get that price too often when you look at the Crosby, the McKinnons. I mean, all these guys. You get down and what it hits pretty much second line almost, with the exception of Kuznetsov at 6,300. Kuznetsov might even be too cheap not to play here if you look at maybe running. Can we get away with running? Let's see if we can do Ovechkin and Kuznetsov here in that pair. Defensively here, guys, I'm going to go with it right away. This is just where I think here. Let's go Cronwall, 2,800, just to get us a little bit up. And I've kind of thought of this line already. So goalie-wise here, Cole, where do you want to go with goalie? I'll let you pick the goalie here because a lot of different ways we can go with the goalie situation. Let's open it up to all games and see what we got on the goalie end. All right, so Stahl and Parise. Stahl would be our utility guy with that last wing. So let's Minnesota against. Let's check it out. I'm sure we can fit it. So utility was Stahl. Parise at 62. It's looking. I don't know. The goalie wise. Where can we go here? Let's see. Jake Allen here at 7,400 against Edmonton. Leaves me 2,400. Let's see if we can find one more goalie a little bit cheaper here. Let's play McElhinney against the Penguins at 71. I think at most, if McElhinney gets the win and a 2-goal against, which is where I'm kind of seeing him, I think he's got the upside of, like I said, 6-7 points because Pitt has shot like 40 times the past 2 games. So that leaves 2,700, guys. We are down to our cheap defenseman, and why not? Me and Cole have always been, and a lot of people kind of just say, whatever on the defensive side here. Cheap plays and defensive. Zadorov here. You look at him, the 10-game log, even at 2,700, he gets you a point there, 3 points there, point and a half. the key here is you're not getting a 0 here. And look, there is a little upside, 6.5 points right there against San Jose, and that was even on the road as well. So let's pair Zadorov in there, and I mean you could go maybe. You can even take a look at Orpik here, Bortuzzo. What has Bortuzzo done? He usually does he get some blocks or something here? Yeah, you got 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there. No goal upside here. So yeah, let's take a gander here at Zadorov. It's 0, but let's take a look here, guys, and we got a first line center here, a first line center here, first line winger, first line winger, first line winger, first line center down here, and 2 defensemen that get a lot of ice time, and a goalie certainly that can be in line for the win. I think that's a great line. Yep, yeah, absolutely there, Cole. I couldn't agree more. A lot of first liners here. Certainly guys that are no stranger to the scoreboard. I mean, Parise's had a couple great years. Kreider and Zibanejad for being the Rangers, they've provided a lot of goals in that organization. I'm going to save this lineup, and that's a 40-point lineup, as Cole said. And you know what? Maybe more, because I can see that Rangers going out for 4. Or going out for 3 goals, I mean. Let's do one more. Let's do one more quick here. We got time. We got time to do one more here, Cole, and let's see where we didn't think. Or, you know what? A little more risk. Let's go a little more risk maybe here. So when I'm looking here, yeah, certainly. I think, Cole, with the Minnesota line especially, I don't think Minnesota tends to garner a lot of ownership in general. Usually under 5% in a mid-tier kind of contest. 100 people or so. So when I looked at this here, power plays I have on my sheet here. Pittsburgh's a possibility. Boston, Washington, St. Louis. Nashville, Toronto, probably either way. Colorado, Minnesota, and Florida. Cole, what do you think? I really think I'd like to get a little piece of O'Reilly here. Can Shen? Let's see Shen's 10-game log here. So he got 6 points the other night. So let me go with a O'Reilly Shen here to start us off on this one, guys. And we'll start that way. So O'Reilly Shen here, pretty good pair. Do I want to exploit Florida against that Dallas line, or you know what? A little bit different, Cole, and it's second line, but let's take a look at the Backlund Kachuk. Now, Columbus, like I said, it looks like the second line seems to be, according to their rating system, not a good look, but I think we're going to be okay there. Florida, man, I keep looking at that Florida, and I say, do I go with it? But let's go Toronto here. Let's go Toronto, see if we can have, we're at 5,100 here. I like Tavares a little bit more than Matthews Samar, so let's run Tavares here. That leaves Marner, Hyman, Johnson here. Well, Marner here's on the power play here. Let's take a look at Marner here. That's 3,700. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. So let's get our goalie in and see where we're at. Let's go with a goalie that we see a lot of upside here. Look here. Let's get Devin Dubnyk. I know, Cole. I'm really struggling on this one. Let's go to the island. You know what, guys? We'll go back to it, I think. Let's keep these 4 guys. We'll go right back to it. Run the Kreider's of Benajad right again here. Again. And now let's open up the D, guys. It's 29.50. You can run a 31 and a 28, give or take here. So, maybe Weegar. Let's see what he got on his 10-game log. 3. Yeah, look at Weegar here. Weegar's had a great 10 games here. So we got Weegar here. Leaves us 2,800. And we're gonna go down. We're gonna plug and play who we can see here. Brandon Carlo, we know what he's doing. We know he's getting some blocks. We know he's shooting. So certainly look at this: a 7.5, a 2.5. Let's just draft him in there. Hope for a 2 to 3 pointer here. And there you are. Another good line here. And Cole brought up a good point in the chat here. There's nothing wrong with, if you think that it's a solid play tomorrow, and I wouldn't disagree with you all to run the Rangers tomorrow and multiple lines and just mix up a couple different other guys, you're okay to do that. And certainly I wouldn't even have any problem with adding like I said, if you wanted to throw Ryan Strome in and do a 3-person stack and run a one-off guy, I don't think I'd have any issues there. And Cole there doesn't like Weegar, and that's okay, Oh, really? The last game was the 7th. I didn't even see. Let's see his injury report. Is he on there? Let's check it out. And I hate when they don't put their injuries there in there. Well, they must have yanked them. Interesting. Wow. Why would they take him out? Probably something to do with those contracts. Oh, no. It says the 17th, Cole. 17th. Ah, yeah, 17th. I thought he was playing well, and it's not goals, guys. I mean, 3 shots and 3 blocks there. That's a good number here. 4 block shots there, 6 blocks, 2 shots there. So certainly at the end, I was going to say, Cole, maybe you never know with all the injuries and stuff here. But yeah, I wouldn't. Even if we wanted to run another guy on the Rangers, that would probably be one of the options I would consider in this. Would be to add another guy from the Rangers and maybe take out this Backlund Kachuk and do a quick one-off. So let's do that just to do it here. I'm going to add in Rangers. We know Strome, I think, is the winger on the first line. Let me just make sure here so I know the Rangers line here to get that first power play unit. I think it was Nemestikov here on the wing, or Buchnevich. So either one of those. I'm going to run Buchnevich, I think, a little bit more at 4,200. So we'll run Buchnevich there, and that leaves 7,700. 7,700, guys. And you know what that leaves room to do? Leaves you 1 center spot open, Cole. Yeah, I think this might be all right. You could run Connor McDavid here as a one-off against St. Louis if you'd like. He's a little more risk. or you could run it with Larkin back in the lineup. I mean, this is really see, his last game was 1.5. Could be Larkin. Really, you could go a lot of different angles here. Aho against the Penguins, I don't think I would have any issues doing that. Man, what do you think, Cole? What do you think it's about to do in the 3 stack here on the Rangers? And wow, do we have options here? Yeah, I'm probably taking McDavid anyway. McDavid doesn't get a 0. Let's just factor that in. But let's look at his 10-game log, guys. 5.5, 10.5, 5.5, 7.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 2.5. Yeah, we're taking McDavid here. Legion 100 on the salary. You got a whole first power play line exposure. Really good lineup there. I'm okay with either option. I'm saving this one here. And that's really where we're at, guys. All right, I'm back, guys. So you've seen the way the builds go. A lot of options out there in a 10-game slate. We gave you a couple of highlights on, you got 2 guys here that love to play. And, yeah, Cole, I couldn't agree more that we got good exposure there. I like domestic. I think it was I can't even remember which winger we went with, but that first power play unit, I'm certainly okay to take that exposure in the Rangers, especially on home ice. Like I said, though, any other I could see Draisaitl with Jason being a potential play against St. Louis, wondering when these guys are there. But there's a few games you stay away from here, guys. The Boston Islanders, a little risky of a game. Montreal, Philly, I just don't know where it's going to go. It could go 4 or 5-3, 2-1. Tough one there. Oh, yeah. Oh, Cole, I steered away from that. I actually I think Arizona's 5-1 against Tampa in the past 6, and that was enough for me to stay away. I wanted some Arizona, but I've not had luck with them. So, Toronto, Nashville, you could get some exposure in that game tomorrow. I'm a little hesitant on that. It's a first take. So I'm going to look a little bit more at that one. Colorado, Minnesota, I might look a little bit more at that one. Florida, Dallas, I'm really going to look at a little bit more because I'm perplexed at Florida, whether I want to go maybe take a look at that first line of Dadonov, Barkov, and Huberdeau, or I might fade them and Hudobin comes out in big fashion. But anyway, that's the slate, guys. Glad you can join the chat. I think I'm just speaking to Cole in that one. But, hey, hopefully you like the video, guys. I gave you I think this is what everyone wants to see. Pick our brains, and certainly you can look at my stats and stuff, courtesy of naturalstattrick.com. That is where those stats come from. But hey, we're out to share advice of how we play, what we look at, and we want everyone to win some money. So have a good night. Thanks, Cole. I'm glad you suggested the format. I think we're all getting a good look at it, and we'll see you. For me, probably not tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe Joe can get on. But if not, I will join you guys Wednesday for another main slate breakdown here at the DFS Quarry channel. Have a good night.